What's up, Hoopers? NBA Now by Chat Sports coming at you. Harrison Graham here with a mailbag. And if you got your questions, submit them now. Hashtag NBA or Super Chat. If you Super Chat, you're guaranteed to get on the show. Shout out Ice. You're not going to get me, though. Reggie Bullock is the best shooting guard in the NBA. If that was true, the Mavs would probably win an NBA championship with him, Luka Doncic, and Kyrie Irving. But it's not the case. Parisian Fitness, what should the Bulls do to make a push as a legitimate playoff team for years to come, not just this year? Trade Zach, trade DeMar, add someone to play with them both, etc. What do you think? I think they should embrace a rebuild. They're obviously not doing that. I think there's a chance they'll make the playoffs this year because after the All-Star break last year, they did play like a playoff team. Now, will that carry over? Does that mean they're going to make a run at a championship? I don't think so. That's why I would embrace a rebuild. They are very much stuck in purgatory. They're good enough where they feel like they shouldn't blow it up, although I think they should. But they're not bad enough where they don't think they should blow it up, even though I think they should. So I think they'll probably be in the mix to be a play-in team this year, but that's not a great place to be. Jeffrey Jamestown, Dame, do you think you get traded to the Celtics? Yeah, I mean, look, a Jaylen Brown-centric deal would be a strong offer from Boston. Maybe you go Jaylen Brown and Robert Williams for Dame, and Nurkic gets dealt to a third team, something like that. So that's definitely a possibility, Jeffrey. Jaylen Brown would give them a bigger guard to play more on the wing next to Scoot Henderson and Anthony Simons. So, yeah, I think it's at least something worth discussing. Where do you guys think Damian Lillard plays next season? Predict it for us in the comment section right now. Where will Dame Time play this upcoming year? Daniel, the Mavericks have been trying to get Ayton. Yeah, I mean, look, there's been rumors. Mark Stein and others reported that Dallas offered a trade offer of Rashawn Holmes and JaVale McGee and Tim Hardaway straight up for Ayton. The Suns did not want to take on McGee's deal. So that is what stopped that deal. Could that be revisited? Maybe. I know Dallas is still interested in upgrading that center position. Levante Rogers, will Jarrett Allen be traded? There were some rumors, I think, around the draft around Jarrett Allen in a potential trade, but those have quieted down since then. I think the Cavs are kind of set with what they got. They brought back Karis LeVert. They've got Max Strus in free agency. I think they're kind of ready to go for next year. Brocave, let's say Luka is unhappy with the Mavs. Free agent moves and demands a trade. What would be some likely trade packages? Well, Luka was talking to Kyrie to convince him to come back, so I don't think he's unhappy. But hypothetically, I'll say this, and I'm not saying this from a Mavs just bias or whatever. I think it would be the biggest trade package in NBA history. If a 24-year-old Luka Doncic got traded, I think it would be absolutely massive. I think a team like the Thunder, could go like Josh Giddey, SGA, and like 6 first-round picks or something like that. I mean, it would be a haul to get Luka Doncic out of Dallas. I'm extremely goofy, says Harden plus Harris for Ja. That is interesting. James Harden and Tobias Harris for Ja Morant. Now, you'd have to have some salary filler from Memphis, but in addition to Ja, but it's not the craziest thing I've heard. I mean, maybe Philly takes a chance and, Harden on a 1-year trial basis for Memphis to pair with Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson. You get Tobias Harris who can play the 4 with Jackson playing the 5. I actually don't hate it. Milk, who's the Lakers' final pick? Can they trade and get McGee back? I think the Mavs would give JaVale McGee to the Lakers if they would just take him. I think with them signing Jackson Hayes, that's less likely. But if they want to conduct some sort of trade to get JaVale McGee out of Dallas, I'm all for it. TLGS Services, if Tyler Herro ended up in San Antonio, how long would the Spurs put up with his celebrity personality? Maybe Sohan and his style is a sign of changing times in San Antonio. I mean, look, like Tyler Herro would be a fun player with the Spurs. He could take on more of a ball handling role. Pick and roll game with Wembanyama would be fun. You've got Sohan. You've got Keldon Johnson. I mean, I could see San Antonio being a third team in a Damian Lillard trade, absolutely. It's Your Boy asks, why is media switching up on Dame for just wanting to play for the Heat? when they were just begging him to request a trade, Miami Heat bias. No, here's what I think it is. I think it's he didn't request a trade before the draft, so it's a little harder to trade him now. He didn't request a trade after they gave Jeremy Grant a massive contract. And he, in the past, has thrown out quotes of like, y'all running from the grind. And not only has he now requested a trade, he only wants to go to one team, and it was a team that was just in the finals. I think that's where people are like, whoa, man, you've always talked about wanting to be this loyal guy. I don't think people are blaming him for requesting a trade, but to only want to play for one team. I don't want to play for Philly. I don't want to play for Brooklyn. I don't want to go to, like, I think that's where people are like, if that's true, that's kind of a bad look based on everything you've ever preached. Rogue Brothers, what do you think of the Sixers holding a high asking price on Harden? I think it's Daryl Morey. He's tight with James Harden. He holds James Harden in a very high regard, and he's not just going to give him away. Daryl Morey, when he trades big-name players, typically gets good returns. So I think that's where that's coming from, and I don't think he's just going to give him away. And I think he's like, look, if I don't get an offer I like, I'll just keep James here. He's under contract. So don't rule out that possibility. Now, who do you guys think gets traded first? Type DL for Damian Lillard. Type JH for James Harden. Drop a name down in the comments section below. Who do you guys think gets traded first? Don't miss a video here on Chat Sports. All you got to do is subscribe and turn on notifications. That way you never miss out on what's going on around the association. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. Our free agency coverage will continue to roll along here at Chat Sports. Ratchet Matt Hukar, McGee to Golden State. Does he make them better? I mean, they could use a backup center. He played pretty well when he was there. Does he make them better? I don't know the answer to that question, but I mean, if they want to like shed Jonathan Kuminga or something and take on JaVale McGee, I think the Mavs would happily comply with that. The Army Monster. How does CP3 or Dame, if he gets traded, work on the Warriors? Well, if Dame somehow worked his way to Golden State, I think CP3 would be in the trade, and that means he would be traded 3 times in as many weeks. Yeah, I think, you know, does that kind of trade work? Could a CP3 and Kuminga and picks type of package get Dame to Golden State? That would be fascinating. Great 1765. Giannis needs a closer. Send Dame to the Bucks. Colin Cowherd's thrown out that idea, but I don't know how realistic that is now that they've re-signed Middleton and Lopez. Now, if they include one of those deals to Portland or to a third team in a deal in some sort of sign-and trade, maybe that could work as a possibility, but that would have to happen before July 6th when all these contracts become official. Appreciate all the questions here on Chat Sports. More mailbags to come in the future, so be subscribed and join our live shows. That's when we answer your questions. Turn on notifications after you subscribe at youtube.com/chatsportstv.